going on, everybody? So I've officially become a thumbpick player. Oh man, 400,000. What a milestone. What a milestone indeed. So yeah, people were asking if I was going to do anything to celebrate. So I said no. And then I decided to go live because I haven't been live since I came down with COVID. And now I've recovered. Almost a full recovery, on our way. Oh my gosh, everybody with such amazing things to say. Oh, Sam. What's going on, Sam, Cam? All the good people in the Discord. If you guys haven't checked out the Discord's pretty fire spot. But yeah, waiting for people to show up. Just thought maybe I just jam out a little bit. I got this. So I'm doing a video with Black Mountain Picks coming up probably this weekend, I think. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll try them out. And now it's like, dang, thumbpicks are great. Because here's my misconception about thumbkicks picks real quick. Is I always thought it was just like, all right, well, like, you know, like finger style and kind of like just, you know, drilling down and getting like the intervals between the strings right and stuff. What I didn't realize is how versatile it just makes your strumming. Like, if you just kind of want to... I posted a thing on Instagram earlier where I was playing that Norah Jones song, Don't Know Why, where it's like... And it's like... That's what's really cool about thumbpicks is... You can kind of just still use like your fingers, like hit the bass note, and then use like the nail of your finger. Kind of like if you're just playing with your thumb, you get that kind of snappy attack, which sometimes it's like cool to get. But I think getting like a regular just like pick attack and then still getting to use your fingers. And then being able to still do like the riffs, I think is like a really cool thing, and that's why I'm just jamming on. I'm cheesing on these thumbpicks. Is cheesing a word that people use? Never liked cheesing as a verb, and I don't know why I'm saying it live. Now I'm using it like I'm a person that says cheesing when I've been against that my entire life. That's just what happens live. Anything can happen live. I can go against the grain, betray myself as a person, and use adjectives, verbs, and nouns that I never would in normal day-to-day life. But you know what? It's that kind of zigging when others zag, or zagging when others zig, that gets you to 400,000 subscribers. That's how it works. So happy everybody's here. Oh, man. Let's hear it. Oh, Cam wants to hear Dragonfly with a thumbpick. If you guys haven't been able to hear, this is actually down a step. The hardest part of this song is this reach. So that's actually in D minor because we're down on the D35, the Martin D35 today. Ah, I love it. You'd have more if you were funnier. Yeah. If I were just a little funnier, I would have more subscribers. I listen, I'm working on it. I'm taking how do you get funnier? take improv classes, that would be the worst. I feel like the least funny people on earth are like improv class people, right? I don't think you can get funnier. I guess maybe hanging around funnier people, you get funnier, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to be any funnier. I don't think I could get any funnier. This is as funny as it gets. No longer a contrarian? How am I no longer a contrarian? I'll always be a contrarian. How dare you? Like the videos, learn new chords he showed. Always happy to share the chord life. For sure. How about some Parador? Oh, Lily. Oh, the greatest artist of all time. So I could try to do Parador. I have not really sang anything since recovering from the plague. But I could try it. That would actually be a good... I think I'm going to actually use Parador as an example for the thumbpick video that I'm doing, because I think this kind of style of playing is great because you get a much more even percussive slap to it coming down with a thumbpick as compared to like the pads of your fingers, right? I'm a man of simple trade, moving things others made, of modern ship and sail, blown by the western gale. Then one day in a port of call, my better judgment took to fall to the ocean's flow with the cannonball. As they fueled this revolution under Spanish sky, through 16 sailors she caught my eye, tempted me to come swing by and make an introduction. I swear I'd seen that face before, whether in my dreams or the troubadour singing of a beauty born to heal a war-torn nation. When she put a hand in mine and asked me for a little time to have occupy her mind from affairs not to be mentioned. We shared a kiss, yeah, maybe two, and spent the night as lovers do, in a Parador beneath the moon. She showed me of a secret. She'd given me a false name, and royal blood flowed through her veins. Yeah, she was a runaway, and I her entertainment. That's alright though, it's okay. We've all got a role to play. Next morning, a rude awakening. The palace gods started to break in, searching for a highborn maiden laying by my side. When it turned a gentle shade, could not produce this girl to wake. She must have passed before daybreak, but at least she went out smiling. I said, wait, let me explain, but they came down on me like a heavy rain. Regained my wits before a king, screaming fire and brimstone, and carried down to a dungeon's room, and through the bars the same bright moon, reflecting off the sea, and cellmates with memory. My prize for this misunderstanding, 7 days to the hangman's landing. So that's the abbreviated version. Listen to the whole thing online for one of my most viewed videos, Parador. If you guys are interested. But yeah. Oh, and thank you. That is a Sean Daniel original. So many Sean Daniel originals. I got another new one coming up soon. Can I play Jaws on the guitar from my man Ricky Van Composer? Check out that dude. He just uploaded a video on his channel, so check that out if you want to know what that van life's all about. Can you check out Rumpus Band on YouTube? They're a kids band. This isn't just kids band. What? Sure, maybe later. Is this all right, Matthew Hyde? Come clean. Are you in Rumpus Band? Is this shameless promotion? I know, right? The man's just into rumpus. Let the man be into rumpus, you know? play more than words on, I don't know. Do I want to play more than words? Do I want to be the kind of guy that plays more than words on acoustic guitar on a live stream celebrating 400,000 subscribers? I don't think so. Elliott Smith, I could probably play some Elliott Smith. Maybe I should try like a Elliott Smith song that I don't know. That would be interesting, instead of playing the same ones that I always play on live streams. How to sing and play videos. How to sing and play vids. Not how to sing and play videos. Might be a good thing. That's tough, right? It's tough singing and playing at the same time. I do wonder. I've never really taught that. I remember that was so hard for me to do. I think maybe it took me at least, I think at least 2 years, if not longer, to be able to even just kind of do it. I just remember like thinking how impossible that was at first. Like, how do you sing and play? How do you do two things at once? But then I just kept doing it and I got better. So as someone who doesn't have a lot of experience teaching that kind of thing, I don't know if my videos on that topic would be very good at all, because like the advice is like, just do it, just keep doing it. I will say, I guess one piece of advice would be like, instead of keeping a rhythm of the song steady, maybe just like strum the chord, like I'm a man of simple trade, moving things I was made of modest ship and sail, blown by the western gale. And maybe start by like attaching words to actions, because then you're doing two things at the same time instead of like singing words and stuff like that. Because I think what it comes down to is like, all right, you're fitting a sung word into a spot in time, and even if it's like with a massive swing or something like that, it's landing on a 64th note or something. Like there's a spot in time that it's landing on that you can kind of like probably play along with, I guess that would be my advice. But I'd have to think about it a little bit more. You know what I really need help with? Here's what I sat down and I was like, all right, I gotta film this guitar lesson, which I think this video is probably gonna post tomorrow. But I need help with the intro joke, because I was like, man, what's my intro joke going to be? Because this is a really good guitar lesson. If you saw the one that I posted maybe like 4 days ago, that a lot of people saw, actually, thank you if you watched that. It was about taking the 3 notes per string method and then stacking it on top of each other, right? And I started thinking about that outside of the context of 3 notes a string. And it's like, oh, this is going to make an excellent guitar. Like, I feel like I really had like a breakthrough for myself personally, and kind of like how I see things and how I can recognize shapes and patterns from this. But I need an intro joke. So it's going to be like the guitar breakthrough that changed everything. But I don't have like a solid intro joke for this yet. So I got to canvas the people. Help me make this intro joke. Because I don't know what it's gonna be. I think it should be something like, when I think of groundbreaking things that changed my philosophy on life forever, usually I think of insert something really stupid. You know what I mean? I think that's gonna be what I'm shooting for, But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I came back exhausted. I'm reading texts from Andrea on my phone while I'm trying to do this live stream. Get in the live stream. But play Macho Man by the Village People. That's the intro joke. Whip It by Devo. My man Steve Williams always commenting when I have a good hair day. Thank you, Steve. That's the real tea, as they say, so to speak. I'm not actually celebrating 400,000 subscribers. I was just having too good of a hair day not to go live. So I had to fire up the old phone. Usually you think of bad intro jokes. Oh, come on. I thought I had a potentially life-altering intro joke in yesterday's video. Oh, look, Drea's here. What up, Drea? Just had to badger her into showing up in the best way. You like the story behind my hair product sponsorship? Oh, and thank you. Technically, my former hair product sponsorship. The good people at Hans de Foucault, I guess, decided not to keep me on as a sponsor. But you know what? As is true with any good sufferer of Stockholm Syndrome, I continue to use and promote the Hans de Foucault brand because they have me that captive and they make such a good product that even though my hair is no longer sponsored, I still leave the light on for Hans de Foucault to come back. I know. Yes, I know. Still coughing, but you know, whatever. Who is the big bearded guy on the channel who plays the dead? Does he have a channel? He's good at explaining things. Travis, you're talking about old videos. You're talking about Stitch, the big bearded man. I feel like his channel should be linked in all the videos that he's in. I also heard that Stitch is in town, so I'm gonna have to track my man down. He sends me a text. Haven't talked to him in like a year. Sends me, you want to know the text message that he sends me? He sends me a picture of his new electric Jeep, the 4xe, just to kind of flex a little. I know it's like, oh, now we're Jeep buddies. But it's really like, oh, cool, you got an electric new Jeep. I see how it is. I see you, Stitch, out there. So go give Stitch a hard time over on his channel and bully him. And yeah, it really was a flex. But it's like, no, we're just buddies. Sure. Big bearded guy. I don't think Davidas is bearded though, right? That's a stash goatee combo. I don't think that counts as being bearded, but you know. And you're right, the hair's not sponsored, but it does live. It lives its own life. It lives on. Hopefully it'll be living on for a long time. Because if I didn't have the hair, Lord knows where I would be in life. It could be sad. I would just be a sad man. I'd just be a sad man on the internet. But as it is, I'm a sad man on the internet with formerly sponsored hair. So that's all that really matters. Oh, yeah. The first video you watched was me and him doing that backing track. The backing track that shames you while you play along to it. That's a pretty good video. Let's talk about some of the... Because since this is a 400,000 subscriber special and not a Sean's hair was looking too good to not go live feed, let's talk about some of the favorite, most slept on videos of years gone by, shall we? What's number one? Me and Ian playing along to the backing track that shames you, I think is definitely up there. There's How to Be a Gear Bro with my man Justin Mitchell, which is really good. I think the newer one where me and Davidas are trying to get recognized in Guitar Center, I think that one is a Pantheon video in my... Also, by the way, just so you know, I'm not going to reference any actual guitar lessons or anything helpful to people. I'm thinking strictly of like the dumb videos. I remember me and Drea used our Muppets to react to Rainbow Connection, a song by Muppets. So I feel like Muppets reacting to a Muppet song was, at the time, the greatest moment in YouTube history, but sadly, I think that's my least viewed video of like the last 4 years. Muppets reacting to Rainbow Connection. The Fuzz Yourself video, yeah, that was Shallow, but if it were Fuzzcore, where we redid the Shallow, tell me something, girl. I'm tired of living in this modern world. But we like changed the lyrics to be about a fuzz pedal. That was pretty good. That was fun. Yeah, for sure. Friend has a Jeep because the cruise control wouldn't disengage on I-95 one day. That's terrifying. Okay. Oh, ladies from the 80s, right? You know what? You know what's really sad is I thought ladies from the 80s was going to change my life. I was like, I finally wrote the song that was meant to catapult me into the big time. Was not meant to be. But also one of the great moments in the History Channel. And then following up ladies from the 80s with ladies from the 80s acoustic was, I think, just too next level. And yeah, YouTube had to punish me for that. Oh, the mode description on the bus. Arcos, by the way, I've been using your picks like a madman. Not on acoustic. I've been doing the shredding thing, right? And Arcos makes these picks, and they seem like thick. I mean, I haven't been traditionally a fan of like thick picks, but these ones specifically, like, I feel so much faster. Like tremolo picking, like I just fly around the fretboard using these. So we're going to be talking more about these picks with the electric stuff. I still kind of, full disclosure, Arcos, I love you. I still kind of prefer the tone of maybe not even. I don't know. I feel like acoustic guitar-wise, I still prefer a little bit of flex to a pick. But electric specifically, like, you can't beat these. So yeah, if anybody wants to link Arcos's stuff, these picks are amazing. And I'm learning to love them on acoustic too. But I still think I like a little bit of flex in an acoustic pick. Slide guitar, please. I suck at slide guitar, but that's going to be one of the projects because I just got the Black Mountain pick. People sent me a slide too, so I'm going to try to figure out how to use that. The Christmas song was good too. Which Christmas song, I beg to ask? Probably Get It In on Christmas. I feel like Get It In on Christmas is the best Christmas song, maybe. But there's been a few. Toys to Men, of course, is what we're talking. 1.14 millimeter Jim Dunlop ones. Cool. Yeah. I'm sure I've played those. It's funny. I know the colors more than I know the actual like millimeter readings, but you discovered the channel through the 100 guitar chords in 8 minutes lesson. Yes, get it in on Christmas. That's get it in on Christmas. It's classic. If you guys haven't seen that, it's never not the season to get it in on Christmas. But yeah, that's definitely a classic one. The video where you were helping less fortunate YouTubers is your favorite moment in the video collection. You know what? I don't remember what that was. That had something to do with Katie, right? Like she was like the less fortunate YouTuber. I don't even know. What model of Martin? No, Lee. It's a good guess. This is actually a D35. Do you know how you can tell this is a D35 and not a D28? By the back. 3 pieces on a D35 as compared to the 28, which just has 1 piece. So yeah, this is Martin D35. What inspired me to get this one specifically was Ray LaMontagne. I think he's a big D35 player, and I think those first few Ray LaMontagne albums, like I love the sound of the acoustic guitar on there. It does a lot of the heavy lifting throughout the mix of the track, and it's just awesome, right? I like the Tailors too a lot. Obviously, I just did a video on the A16 and how I think it's the best guitar I've ever played. But specifically in a mix and accompanying for sure. But a Dreadnought does add a little bit more low end, and especially now that I'm kind of figuring out how to use this thumb pick, I feel like I'm getting a good balance with it. That is just not a sound I have with other acoustic guitars. So yeah, I mean, both guitars are awesome. Is the Martin overpriced? I don't know. Price is hard to talk about. You know what I mean? It's like this is just kind of the going price for high-end-ish Martins. You know what I mean? When me and Dre went to the Martin factory, it really kind of made me appreciate a lot more things about guitar that I just didn't appreciate before. Kind of like the actual quality of the piece of wood on the top here, right? And I don't even know if that kind of comes through. I'm watching this on my laptop too. You can't really see the grain, but like in person, like you really see the grain for stuff like that. And again, you know, for some people that doesn't matter, but I'm learning to appreciate like different things about guitar manufacturers and craftsmanship and stuff. So once you go through the Martin factory, you understand why things are priced where they are, because it's like, man, the amount of people and the amount of like steps a really well-made guitar goes through inspection wise to kind of get to the finish line is just I had no idea. You know, so but again, you know, price is just kind of like whatever the market sets it at is what the price is. So yeah, they're not cheap. The Streetmaster I think is a good price. I think that's like $1,200. The Martin Streetmaster, and then that's thumbs up on that. But yeah. Here's the question. What do you think of the new PRS Silver Sky SE? Oh, oh man. What does old Sean think of the Silver Sky SE? People know what I think of the Silver Sky. Some people do. You know that I'm not allowed to touch it. I can't touch it. It's a Horcrux. And I think it's unholy and I think it's evil. And I will never touch a Silver Sky. In fact, I don't know if this is inside. I don't know if this is inside info or whatever. But you know how yesterday you saw a lot of the regulars release their PRS Silver Sky video like at the same time, like that batch thing? Well, the reason that I'm not one of the regulars is because of my video on my thoughts on the Silver Sky. We were in Germany at GitCon, like what, 2016, I think it was. And PRS was there. And again, I love PRS guitars. I'll definitely have a PRS guitar at some point. It just won't be the Silver Sky because my thoughts on this are well documented in the PRS Silver Sky is evil, change my mind video, where me, Michael from Guitargate, and Samurai Guitarist are debating the merits of why I think the Silver Sky is an incredible guitar, but is also unholy and I can't touch it, right? And I thought the PRS reps were cool with that video, but ever since I posted it, they're just they're not interested in working together anymore, which is totally fine. You know what I mean? I get it. But you know, some companies just don't have the foresight to appreciate good humor. So again, nothing against PRS. PRS makes amazing guitars, and I'm sure that Silver Sky SE is awesome. I can't touch it. I'm sorry. I watched the John Mayer video today of him going through it, and I think Mayer does an awesome job of like really kind of going through its paces and talking about the features. I think he's a great salesman for that guitar, like without question. You see a lot of people with signature guitars, and they'll talk about their guitar and stuff like that, and you can tell that like Mayer was like intricately involved in the process and why he wanted to do certain things. So I thought that video came off super well. I recommend people watching it, even though at the end is like the most Mayer thing of all time. Have you guys seen this video of like John Mayer standing in front of the SE block? It's like he does a really great job, and then at the end he's like, for the first time ever, I'm gonna have you guys hear how this guitar feels. It's so bad. And then, you know, and then he, you know, starts double stopping, doing John Mayer things. It sounds great. And then he just kind of like, and then it just kind of fades to black. Like, oh God, that was a tough way to end that video. I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody. So surely some people are on my side with this, right? It's like it's kind of like an embarrassing. I don't know. But again, John Mayer's the man. Like, he's so good. Would I touch the silver sky if nobody knew? No, that's the whole point. You know what I mean? Let's talk about this in 2022. Everybody's gotta draw a line in the sand somewhere. Whether that line means something or means nothing. Like, draw your line, people. You know what I mean? Even if it's something stupid, like not touching. Oh, it's a great guitar. There's no reason I shouldn't not play it or touch it or acknowledge that it's not evil and it's fine and it's cool. But I just that's my line. I drew my line and I'm sticking to it. And some might call it stubborn. Sure, go ahead. That's fine. But some might say stubbornness is why it took me longer to get from 300,000 to 400,000 subscribers than it took to get from 0 to 100,000 subscribers. You have a great point. But draw a line, people. Stick to your guns. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. Play the heck out of that thing. That's what it's for, yeah. Hi from Northern Ireland. Oh, hey, Mark. That's so cool. I want to go to Ireland sometime. That'd be great. Harley Benton makes good value guitars. Sure. Awesome. I've never played a Harley Benton, actually, somehow. I've heard a lot about them, I like that John essentially said he's going to recommend the Silver Sky SE to moms who ask him what to get their kid when they first start out with guitar. Yeah, that is kind of what he said, And I can't blame him. But also, too, at the same time, like, it's a different ballgame now than it was 15 years ago. Like those Donner guitars that I get sent every now and then that are like between $100 and $400. Like, oh my gosh, those are so much better than like the Squier Starcaster that I started out on. Like, it's crazy. So I mean, like, yeah, the Silver Sky SE is like definitely better than those, but also for like $300 now, like a new guitar that you can get from like overseas manufacturers, like, it's insane. It's just insane. The perfect beginner guitar at $850. Yeah, right? That is kind of... I get it. Things are expensive, man. What can you do? Gibson put their spin on the Strat. Oh, Gibson did this right. Total fail. Yeah. Yeah, an intro budget of $100, right? Like, a lot of people, that's like their budget. Like, it's... Man, so few families are like, oh, my kid might be into this. Let's spend $1,000 on a overseas made guitar, I get it. Like, it's a great value still, but if they're just maybe trying something out, just start with something cheaper. Heck, if somebody wants to just find your local guitar YouTuber and just ask for a cheap guitar, and I'm sure they've got one sitting around. Oh, man. There you go. Yeah, Starcaster from Sam's Club. Right on, Chad. And as Michael said, a good setup goes a long way, right? Takamine Jasmine. Yeah, I had a Takamine Jasmine for a while. I wonder what ever happened to that. Can I shred yet? It's coming. It's coming for sure. I can, do I have this plugged in still? This amp on? Should we talk about the shredding progress real quick? So I got the Stramberg right here. This has been the shred setup. That is what a glorious like reverb sound. I feel like that's a lot of effects, right? So maybe do I just do delay? Definitely anytime I just put like delay on that, I feel like I'm learning how to shred for sure. But here's the reverb. Love it. Yeah, so this is probably the setup I'm going to use for the video that I'm going to post tomorrow. As soon as I figure out my intro joke, please, people out there, help me with the intro joke. But yeah, working on the shred thing. Write a song about you being in a Hallmark movie and see what happens. You know, all right. You guys want to hear? You guys want to hear the story, the Hallmark story that happened to me last night? I feel like I'm okay to tell it. So, yesterday's video, I started with the intro joke, something like I forget what it was. It was about the best guitar I've ever played, which is not clickbait. That Tailor A16 is like the best guitar I've ever played. But the intro joke was like, all right, well, what's formerly the greatest? I'm like, whenever I think of the greatest of all time, my mind always thinks of acclaimed Hallmark director David Winning, whose work would be more well known if only he had a more charismatic leading man. But after that, I think of guitar, right? They're like the intro joke was something like that, right? I Googled Hallmark directors, saw that David Winning was like a guy who had done a bunch of them. Last night, I get an email. Who emails me? David Winning. And he goes, he's like, hey, I'm a little confused, but thanks for the mention and great videos. And I'm like, oh my God. Like right away I get back to him. I'm like, David, let me explain. David, let me explain. And then I went into the whole thing about how the last couple of years, the whole running joke was that I should have a bit part in a Hallmark movie to complete my destiny. And that I've been kind of joking about being desperate to get on the Hallmark Channel, but also kind of not joking at the same time. To the point that like I've been going to Los Angeles to like get my SAG card. That was, I don't know if I've talked about this, but so I was a background act. You have to do like 3 non-union vouchers to get your SAG card, which I kind of have it in to get these non-union vouchers over time, right? But I have to be in these background gigs to get the non-union vouchers, to get the SAG card, to pitch the whatever. So I'm on the set of Warner Brothers to be a background actor. Like I sat at a desk in a show called The United States of Al, I think is what it's called. And I'm on the Warner Brothers set, and I'm waiting there for like hours and hours. You're in this thing called background holding, which is funny because but you're on the Warner Brothers set in like Los Angeles or Burbank technically. So you're in like you walk down the street that you've seen in every movie in history, where it's like there's like this specific street that has all these like fake buildings, which are real buildings, but like if you know it's a blockbuster movie where you have to like rent out a street, it's easier just to do it at the Warner Brothers lot. So I'm in one of these buildings by the Friends fountain, right? And I'm just waiting there to get my voucher to be in this TV show, so I can eventually be in a stupid throwaway part on a Hallmark Channel Christmas or whatever movie. And I was having a real moment there when it was like hour 8, and I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, this is such a long game, like the long con, like the longest troll in history. That like I'm 3,000 miles away from home on the Warner Brothers lot, waiting to be in this stupid TV show to get one of 3 vouchers. It's like I'm in the world's worst RPG. Like I'm on this mission where I have to get one voucher to get the Supreme Union voucher, where I'm finally eligible to be on this freaking stupid movie. Because I don't want to be an actor. Like that's the funniest part, is like I don't want to be an actor at all. I just want a bit part in a Hallmark movie channel because it's my birthright. And yeah, it was it dawned on me, the gravity of the time and expense and energy that I was spending to make this happen really hit me all at once. And little did I know, I just had to start shouting out Hallmark movie directors' names at the beginning of every YouTube video that could potentially get tens of thousands of views. And maybe I can just skip the whole process in general. Have not heard back from David Winning after my explanation last night, but there's time, right? David's a busy guy. So if you're watching on the live stream, David, please just type F in the chat. You know, that means yeah, I know, Cam. I know. How goes the shredding practice? So here's a precursor to the lesson I'm gonna talk about tomorrow, right? So it's like I talked a little bit about it a few days ago where you have this one shape where it's like, all right, I'm doing this in the key of A. Thank you. Thank you, fishy fish. And it's like, all right, we've got the Mixolydian mode. Right? So it's like 5 7 9 5 7 9. The easiest shape to see. And then it's like, all right, well, this shape repeats starting on the root note of the major scale, which happens a half step higher from this. It's like, oh, cool. So again, you can like run this all through here. And those are all the notes in that key. And you can do that 2 strings at a time instead of 6 strings at a time. So the video tomorrow, assuming I'm able to source a good intro joke from the chat here, is how you can do that in anywhere, right? So like the E and the A string. Or starting here on the D. Is this the D string? No. The 7th string always gets me messed up. D and G. And it's like, okay, cool. I learned one shape and I'm just applying it across 2 sets of strings. Blew my mind once I started thinking about it that way. And I'll never not see this pattern. So tomorrow, standalone video coming about that specific pattern, explained in a much more coherent way. So be excited about that. And the least y'all could do in the meantime is to just start canvassing all the Hallmark directors and be like, oh, you guys got to check this guy out. This Sean guy. He's what you're all missing. So that's how shred practicing it's going. You know what's funny? A lot of it is actually I won't even be plugged in. I'll just maybe take like part of a shape, like if we take the major scale, like maybe this part here, or I have like, you know, what is this? 6 7 9 6 7 9 11. What I'll do is I'll just put like a basketball game on. Like last night I was watching the Nuggets Clippers and I was just like, and it's like honestly like that has helped a lot. And I'm just playing it just acoustically. And I feel like my coordination between my hands is actually getting a lot better. Or even just going through like the And it's almost better unplugged than like than it is with like effects and stuff like that, because kind of like Davidas was saying, it's like, can I sweep pig? That's another thing I've been working on. So the answer is badly, but no, I think you got if you're sweeping it, you gotta have distortion. Like that's one thing I've been working on. Again, I'm not good at it yet, but like it's. See how bad that is? But again, I'm working on it. Again, I've never really devoted any time or practice to that kind of thing before ever. But you know, why not? I'm trying new stuff. We'll see. You know, Strandberg broke off for you. Yes. This guitar is like sick. I love this guitar. I've just been walking around my house just with it strapped, not plugged into anything. And I don't know, like I started matching my outfits to it. That's a new development as of today. Like that. Unplugged really does make you play different. Why is the head gone on the strand? This is how it works, man. This is that Strandberg look. It's crazy, right? It's kind of funny. I never hated on Strandbergs, but I was like, I never really saw myself owning a Strandberg, right? And then, funny enough, my man Justin actually got this guitar first. He's like, oh, I've been waiting for this Bowden NX7. I think he got the 7, not the 8, right? And I went over to his house and I saw it. I'm like, man, that's like sick. Like, maybe like I'd want one of those. And then Davidas came over and he had the same one. And that was like, okay, I definitely want to try to like throw my hat into there because I really respect both of those guys' opinions on gear and stuff. So the fact that they both kind of independently arrived at the fact that like, wow, like this is like a great guitar that, you know, they both really wanted, definitely turned me onto it. And now I'm part of the Strandberg family team. I know, it's beautiful. Color coordinated, yes, always color coordinated. Learning Chan, oof, Chan's nasty. I think what I might change my mind on this, but what I've been doing the first week or so of this like practicing the shred thing, I've really just been trying to be creative on my own, and I haven't really learned any other artists' stuff, like on purpose. But I wonder if maybe I should kind of like try learning like a particular solo or something like that. So if you guys have any ideas of like particular types of solos I should watch and maybe try to incorporate into doing something, that'd be cool. If any cool solo would be as good as that. Eruption, come on, man, Eruption. A whole session. See, the other thing about like some of these suggestions, these seem so hard. A whole Satriani song. It's like, that just seems like a, man, it seems like a mental exercise even more than like a physical one. Like an entire, yeah, or a Davidas song. Here's the thing about Davidas is like, Davidas can't even play a Davidas song. It's different literally every time he does something because he's just, the notes are just erupting from his fingers, which is one of the reasons that I kind of wanted to just play my own thing instead of like trying to like emulate another thing, because at the end of the day, if we're all using the same patterns, it's like, well, if I'm just going to learn somebody else's solo in the same pattern, why don't I just try to make up my own stuff within that pattern? Because then it'll sound more like me. And maybe that's wrong. I'm 100% open to that not being the correct way to do it, if there even is a correct way to do it. I just feel like at the end of the day, as long as I'm practicing guitar at least an hour or two a day, you know, then yeah. Davidas is like the Bach of guitar. Is that accurate? Maybe. Could be. I'm going to start calling him Johann. Johann's a great name. There should be more Johanns. Hashtag more Johanns. That's going to be my 2022 cause. More Johanns out there. Julian, how do you pronounce his last name? Is it Log? It can't be Lage, right? But I've seen some of his stuff and like it's awesome, right? People keep saying Freebird, really? And you never get tired of requesting Freebird? You just never wear yourself out? Johann Davidas? Yeah. More Wolfgangs? I think, nah, more Johanns. Wolfgang, sure. Wolfgang? Wolfgang? I still think more Johanns. I'd rather have more Johanns than Wolfgangs. I think Wolfgang should be a title that you bestow upon somebody. Johann should be a birth name more than anything. teach you something like Freebird. Let's Sweet Home Alabama. Do I even heard it? That's the funny thing about a 7-string is I haven't gotten to the point where I can play all the stuff I play on a 6-string on a 7-string. Like right there, I just went when it's clearly. But I'm going to what I think of as the 2nd string down, but that's the E string. That's a lot of reverb, isn't it? Huh. Give it up for the walrus pedals. This guitar is so good. Listen how like creamy that. That's the single coil, right? You can kind of split these with the Fishman Fluence pickups or whatever. Such a cool guitar. Good stuff. You make Alabama my sweet home. You're gonna unsubscribe if I don't teach you Freebird. Oh my gosh, what a you're gonna unsubscribe during my 400,000 subscriber special. What are the chords to Freebird? I legitimately know hundreds of songs. I legitimately do not know how to play Freebird. And then my man Marty Schwartz coming up first. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Somebody said something about Alabama, and I instantly went to the national title game the other day, which was a wild dude. That Georgia defense, ridiculous. So it's G, D, too much compression. I feel like we got to go acoustic if we're actually going to do that. Too much. Bring this bad boy back. All right, let's stand that up. So Freebird is G, D, E minor. Again, this is down a step. F, C, yeah, that sounds like Freebird. There you go. You just learned how to play Freebird. What's the end? F, C, D? No, that's... So what is it? Oh, there it is, yeah. G, B, flat, C. Man, that's it. Get B flat. B flat is where it's at, y'all. G, B flat, C. Yeah, great chord. And if you throw B flat in any chord in the key of C or the key of G, then you're cooking with fire, everybody. Becoming a big fan of slide up though 5 and 7 of B, right? Like as soon as you hear that, you kind of hear this solo in your head, right? Yeah, that's Freebird's pretty great, but I will never play it ever here or in between. Can't unhear the solo. Is it the People song? You're unsubscribing because you taught Freebird. One of the other reasons I didn't do the 400,000 subscriber special earlier is because usually we end up around 80 to 120 people tuned in at a time for these live streams. And like if I was too close, like if it was like 400,100, I was just afraid that like all people watching would just unsubscribe to troll me back down to 400,000. and then back and forth. But yeah, so if all of you unsubscribe right now, I'll still be at 400,000. Starting a contentious relationship with the audience. Love that. Curtis Lowe. B flat like the earth. Am I right? The earth isn't flat. Crazy flat earthers out there. Oh man. How's the shred and regime? Gosh, guys, I almost read that as shred engine. Shred's going good, guys. Still, I'm and at least an hour every night for sure. Also, just uploaded a Patreon lesson yesterday, which was about going through. If we take those shapes, I kind of like. And kind of like just like working your way up through that whole thing. That was the Patreon lesson yesterday, so that's pretty cool. You know. Yeah. Yes, 400. Yeah, thank you very much for the congratulations. Homeward Bound, Paul Simon. When I hear Homeward Bound, I think of the movie about the dogs. Were they all dogs, or was it a dog and a cat? I don't remember. But yeah, I think of golden retrievers traversing the nation, trying to get home. Homeward Bound, great movie. That's all. You started the 3 notes per string practicing. I'm all for it. Can you play an Adrian Linker song? Not in standard tuning. I wonder. That's a great question, Cam. Can I play an Adrian Linker song? You know what's funny? A lot of the artists that I really like listening to the most, I'm not interested in playing their music as much. Which I can't say has always been the case. Like, you know, Elliott Smith and Jimi Hendrix and Radiohead are like the reason I kind of got into music. And like I learned how to play like almost all their songs. But I feel like since then, the artists that I really, really like, I don't really try to play their songs. I just kind of like enjoy their songs almost more. I wonder if there's like something psychological to that potentially. So yeah, there's that song, Anything, that I taught, but that's in a much different tuning. How do you play My Angel? That's a cool song. C, F. Yeah, see it. I think it's playing her stuff in standard is just not the same. Like you really have to do her open tunings because it's such a part of the vibe. But yeah, it's good stuff. Made You Cry. You can watch it. What made you cry? Oh, I missed it. The guitar that's not Elliott Smith. Yeah, right. The Elliott Smith guitar. You know what's funny? So if you didn't see that video, me and Andrea got to go to the Martin Factory a couple months ago, and they have Elliott Smith's guitar there. Shout out to my man Rory, the Martin A&R guy, who turned me onto it. And it's a guitar that Elliott's, I think his ex-girlfriend, Mary Lou Lord or whatever, gave to him, that also was used by Kurt Cobain for a time. So Elliott Smith and Kurt Cobain used the same guitar for a while. So we're like, oh my, like this story blew my mind. So they let me play it. And we played Say Yes. It's a great song, right? When me and Drea play it, we play it in C, which I don't even think that's the key that he played it in. But I thought I did a pretty good job. Like, considering that, like, I was, like, super nervous to play that guitar, and I don't really get nervous like that much, but my hands were kind of like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy, right? I thought I kind of killed it, and and that video got posted on the Elliott Smith forum, and everyone's blasting me like this, like a homeboy butchered the song. And it's like, come on, man. Like, I get. Sorry, David was trying to call me in. Tune into the live stream, bro. Like, I get that I'm not Elliott Smith, but like at the end of the day, if we look at like him playing that song live, like he's a little strung out a lot of the time, and it's a little rough around the edges. And I played it super clean. I feel like I crushed it, and everyone's like, "Oh, this you suck." It's like okay, all right, you're right, my bad. Yeah. Sorry. Man, James McGill really out here just calling for Kindred. Oh, man. Not going to happen, James. You're just stuck with old SD. Solo today. He did it in F? Yeah, correct, right? You know. What would F be? Ah, yeah, it's C, D, F, G. Yeah, that's never played it in F, but yeah. I mean, obviously Elliott's way better than I am, but it's like, come on, man. Like, just let's all just be fans together, right? It's so funny. Can you do some improv stuff with the looper? Man, I should have hooked a looper pedal up, but I don't have it. I gotta start doing that more. Is just going live with like a looper pedal, because that's like way more fun. The audio and the video are out of sync? Is that true? Way more fun. The audio and the video are out of... How did that happen? Man. Thanks, YouTube. Great. Probably when I got that call, I guess it probably messed up the thing. Wish there was some way I could fix that, but can't, because there's no way to do anything like that. Man. Yeah, it's out. How do I fix that? Is there anything I can do on this actual thing? What if I switch the camera and then I switch it back? Maybe is that gonna fix it? Did that do anything? Huh? Is it good now? Did that work? It's back to normal? Nah, there we go. See? Technological genius. Yeah. Only way to fix it is more cowbell. Okay, great. Oh, fix before the camera change. So you're trying to take the credit away from me, Spider. Trying to take my shine. Just like everyone else on the Elliott Smith Reddit message board. Love it. So good. Yeah, so anyways, still waiting for some help with this intro joke that I'm trying to make for tomorrow. Is that true? Let me mute myself. You know, no, Panda, no, I don't want to try the Silver Sky. I've got a Fender Stratocaster, and it's great. I've got 2 Fender Stratocasters. So yeah, no. All in for doing Elliott Smith covers. What's a good Elliott Smith song? What Elliott Smith song should I learn? Let's see. I wonder what the most popular ones are. Let's go to Ultimate Guitar and see what they say the most popular songs are. Between the Bars. All right. I know that one though. That's too easy. Wonder if maybe we could do. Have I done Needle in the Hay before? I could try it, but I'm just gonna cough through it. How do you play Needle in the Hay? It's something like. That's such a good song. All right, so that's how I remember it anyways. Let me look up the chords for this because I don't really know all the words. That's way too low in this tuning. Where would this have to be for me to be able to sing it with a post-COVID cough. They stack charm around your neck, strung out and thin, calling some friend, trying to catch some check. He's acting dumb, that's what you've come to expect. Needle in the hay, needle in the hay. I feel like that's close. I just saw a giant bug like crawling up on my wall. Oh my god. That's terrifying. Dude, man, Florida has some bugs. Let me tell you what. That's out of control. Needle in the Hay is a great song to learn though. Sorry that was interrupted by like a huge bug that I'm gonna just pretend I'm not terrified of as we're watching that. What is your approach towards learning a difficult song? I'll tell you my approach is to simplify it. And then simplify it and then make it seem like it's your version of the song, right? Like case in point. The way that I play Condor Avenue, right? Screw that up. There it is. She took the Oldsmobile out past Condor Avenue. The cops were running around the scene, looking for some kind of clue. They never get uptight when a moth gets rough. Unless the light bulb really loved him very much. I'm lying down, blowing smoke from a cigarette. Little whisper smoke signs you'll never get. So that's like, at the time I learned that, I remember that was like the hardest song that I could play. And so much of it was spent like looking at like the sweetadeline.net tab. And then eventually it's like, all right, that was super hard for me at the time. I'm just gonna go with something close to it. And then as long as it sounds right enough, then it's good. Because I don't care if stuff is note for note ever, you know? Some people care. I definitely don't. I think it's more about just like enjoying playing a song, you know? Like when I think of like music and I think of songs, I'll always kind of tend to follow the better songwriters over the better song players, right? So I think as long as you're looking at the chords and maybe like the tabs kind of help you out a little bit, I feel like as long as you're playing it in the spirit of the song, man, you're playing the song. You know, it's not about playing the parts right. I think like, you know, the best songs, the music just kind of enhances and accompanies what the whole vibe of it is about. So I think that's kind of why I don't care about the accuracy of the notes in a song as long as you're generally playing the gist of the song. And if you're kind of making changes for it, like, great. And that philosophy has definitely helped me in learning difficult songs because I'll just make them less difficult and then play them that way. And then they're not that difficult at all. So that's my philosophy. Oh, man. Lizards love palmetto bugs. Dude, the size of the lizard that it would take to take down this palmetto bug I'm looking at is even more terrifying than the bug itself. Where am I gonna hang my 400,000 plaque? Yeah, I don't get a 400,000. I feel like there should be a 500,000 plaque, right? I don't know. Like $1 million's a lot. Am I ever gonna get to $1 million? I feel like I'm never gonna get to $1 million. I feel like a 500,000 plaque would be nice. I could feasibly get there someday. But it's kind of weird that it goes from 100,000 to 1 million. It's weird. Tell Norm Macdonald's moth joke. Yeah. The moth. It's so great. What was it? He told it a couple of times, right? What is that? The one that starts out where he's like a Russian farmer who's like, sun fell in the cold of the winter. Oh, love it. Love Norm Macdonald. Stay at 420K. So here's the thing. So Andrea, who I'm sure a lot of you have seen before, she got 20,000 today. So between my 400K and her 20K, together we have 420. Isn't that the best? Mm-hmm. You gonna wear your YouTube plaque on a chain, millennial animal? That could be cumbersome. But I mean, cool flex. Maybe I should try it. Maybe for the for the next trying to get recognized in Guitar Center video, I'll just carry my YouTube plaque around with me. That'd be pretty good. I like that. Is that a bug behind you? Oh my God, what? Is there another one? No. You're not gonna make me look because I can see myself in the phone. Nice try. Nice try. Yeah, I'm down to do some stuff with Stitch. Hopefully soon. I know that the issues for Not were pandemic related, but now that the pandemic's over, just got COVID this week. Now that the pandemic's over, now we can get back together and hang out with all our buddies, and it'll be so much fun. Oh man, looking up more Elliott Smith songs. Oh, Christian Brothers. That could be a cool song to learn. This is a 5-star rated tab on Ultimate Guitar. What do we got here? We got what is this? Really? Oh yeah, that is the song. I'm shocked that I just clicked on an Ultimate Guitar tab and it's actually like it's perfect. I feel like I've never tried to play this song and had it sound like the song until just now. That sounds great. Oh, what's the next part? No, that's not right. Is this a D, G, C, F, A, D? Oh, it's upside down. I don't know how to play the next part, but those chords were definitely right, which is shocking to me. Mm-hmm. Get a 400 belt, 400,000 belt, 400K, like Texas style. Yeah, sure. Have you watched Book of Boba? Yeah, I've seen it. Is the new one out tonight? Is it Wednesday night thing? I saw the first two. For the first one, do we really want to talk about the Book of Boba Fett right now, everybody? I feel like the dude is not as intimidating. Is this bad? Is this ageist of me to say? I feel like he's just kind of like an older guy that's not in great shape, but he's supposed to like strike fear into the heart of like people in the galaxy. I don't know. You know, I kind of had the same issue with Mandalorian. It's like these guys aren't really that intimidating. Like I feel like Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, like would not really last very long as bounty hunters in this like seedy underground like world. Am I right? Will people back me up on this? Like neither of them are very fit. They don't they are constantly bested in one-on-one duels everywhere they go. It's like, man, I don't know. That's I'm just kind of whatever. Yeah, he is. He's an old, heavier guy. Like I'm sure he's in great shape for being like an old man. But I thought I don't know. It's just not. I, I don't know what to say. I don't want to sound like a jerk, you know. But Boba Fett was supposed to be like awesome. Like how, like you started at 100 out of 100 coolness factor with like Boba Fett, and then the decision to be like, oh, you know what we could do? We could get the guy who played Jango Fett, who's now in his mid-60s, to reprise the role of his father being the son. It's like, why did you do that? Why didn't you just get some strapping man in his 30s who's in peak physical condition to play Boba Fett instead of maybe a Hallmark Channel acting gig? Would have been way cooler. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts on Boba Fett. Yeah, we know too much about him now, right? That's kind of like the mystery's gone. Now he's just kind of like a schlubby guy, schlubby older gentleman. And again, I don't want this to sound ageist. I think an older gentleman should be in charge of the slum lords. You know, using the wisdom acquired over the years to make just decisions in intergalactic disputes. But as far as like an action series, I mean, I don't know, man. The Gamorreans are probably the best part of the show so far. Am I right? Am I right, people? And that's why he never takes the helmet off. Except he always takes the helmet off. Like right when they got out of the cantina looking place, they're just standing out in the middle of the road and he's like, oh man, that meeting went well, right? It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Episode 3 is bad. Oh, that sucks, man. I was great in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Thanks. Which person was I? I don't know. I don't really know Always Sunny though. I hope I'm the guy with the FBI board meme. That guy's pretty cool. I could be cool like that guy. Right? Yeah, they don't know their target audience. Is it kids or what? Yeah, that's I don't know, man. You know, they should give me, you know who they should give me, Davidas and Samurai, a Star Wars show, and then we can just kind of start calling the shots, because that'd be what's up. That was Sophie. Thank you. That was good advice for learning to sing and play at first. Happy to help, because I didn't know if that was good or not. That was just a random thought that popped into my head. Steve, my man Steve, always there with like the hair compliments. Yeah. Take a song you like and easy chord. I would say. Oh yeah, definitely. I would say the first song. What's the first song I learned how to play on guitar? I can, you know what? Let me look it up because it's been so long. I'll tell you, because it was actually a challenge. It was probably good that I tried to play this song first, because it wasn't an easy one. That's why I was like so hard. Everclear, Santa Monica. That was the first song I ever could sing and play at the same time, right? And now I forgot all the lyrics. And now it's in a different key because this guitar is tuned down. I am still living with your ghost, lonely and dreaming of the West Coast. I don't want to be your downtime. I don't want to be your stupid game. with my big black boots and an old suitcase. I do believe I'll find myself a new place. I don't want to be the bad guy. I just want to be on something, da-da-da. We can live beside the ocean, leave the fire behind, and swim out past the breakers and watch the world die. We can live beside the ocean, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's coming back. Oh my gosh, a donation. I look away and I come back to a $10 donation. Thank you, Alexander. That was great. He looks like he's in constant free fall and it's awesome. Who, me? Oh, the hair. Certified friend. Yeah, that's funny. I'll take it. Blowing in the wind. I started with Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks has some good songs, right? Dovey would be too out of control to what? Take a song like easy chord, I would say. Dovey. Oh, for the now I'm putting it together. Thanks so much for the kind words. Yeah. Oh, dude, Santa Monica. It's such a good song because it's all power chords. Again, this is I believe it's a step higher than the original. It's cool because like it's a pattern, so the left hand doesn't have to change shapes, but you have to get to the right spot. And it's, you know, it's a good one because the rhythm is kind of, it's still on it. You know, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, do 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 do. So it's kind of, it's very downbeat centric, but there's still a variation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wi-Fi cut it out. The melody makes this. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Great. Such a good song. Everclear. Whatever happened to Everclear? Ah, where has the time gone? You're still live. Bring Stitch on. He's my man. Oh, he's the man, not your man. Nor is he my man. He's just the man. Oh, yeah. Again, now that Stitch is flexing on me with his electric Jeep, there's no excuse for him not to come over here. So go comment on Stitch's videos. Be like, what's up? Go over to Sean's house. I know you're around. You've listened to Juliana on repeat all day 100 times. Nicholas. Oh, what a stud. Juliana's super fun to play. I think I taught it in the last live feed, didn't I? This is down a step still. Juliana, do you wanna get together, baby? Underwater, it's been a long time since I saw you all alone. Juliana, it's time to go home. Drift away to the deepest, darkest sea. Right there. That's so if you watch the video from yesterday where I was talking about the Tailor's false cutaway, look how much easier it is on a non-cutaway guitar to do that. I can do it on a non-cutaway D35. I can't do that on the 814 because the cutaway in the neck stops me. That's crazy. That's a realization I just had. Tyler, what's up, buddy? The best teacher on YouTube, says Tyler. Tyler, you're a classy man. Drink something? Yeah. Thank you, Alexander. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Stitch now posts once a month, whether he needs to or not. I know, what a man. just dropping bombs out of nowhere on no schedule. Fun fact, Stitch has 2 T's. No, he doesn't. Stitch is S-T-I-C-H. Ian Stitch is S-T-I-C-H. Like Shawn Mendes stitches. You know what's funny? That song, so Stitches, which is Shawn Mendes, is for some reason I love playing that song live. Like I get into that song. I don't know why. I feel like I'm not really even like a huge Shawn Mendes fan or whatever. But that song is so much fun to play. It's just A minor, G, C, F. That's like the whole thing, right? So it's really a 6, 5, 1, 4 in C. But the way that, I don't know, I always just get hyped. I thought that I've been hurt before. Like whenever we play, I just start. I don't know why, but I start playing Super Busy, which is like so not like how I generally play. But yeah, Stitches Shawn Mendes, that's a banger for sure. Do You're Not From Here by Katie. I don't know. I don't know what that song is. I've never heard it. You're Not Here by KT. Yeah, I feel like I would have to know exactly kind of what the song, or not even exactly, but generally what a song sounds like to like try to do it. But I don't know. Michael, thank you so much for the kind words. But yeah, anyways, 400,000. Super thankful to everybody who subscribed and watched videos. Stoked to get to 500,000. The march continues. How's Katie doing? Katie's doing good. I think there's a new Katie video coming tomorrow. Katie Lau, if you guys don't follow her. So that's cool. Yeah. Kevin, how dare you? Giving the D35 shade yesterday? I never gave the D35 shade. Just because it's not the greatest guitar I've ever played in my entire life doesn't mean this isn't an amazing guitar that I cherish and love playing all the time. Come on now, Kevin. You know better than that. Hello from France. Oh man, hi. I want to go to France. Maybe this summer. I feel like a Euro trip is in the future for the summer. All right, so Alex Smith wants me to perform So Emotional and If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher and Whitney Houston. I feel like I would be the worst person to do those songs, Alex. I appreciate your confidence in me, but Whitney Houston and Cher? Like, come on. Like, I'm okay at singing, but I feel like those are like powerhouse female vocal ballads that no one would want to hear me do that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Oh, Hendrix or Clapton? Come on. Hendrix all day. Hendrix is my guy. Play my favorite original song. I don't even know my current card. God, somebody's texting me. What? I don't know. What is my favorite song? What's my favorite original song? What's your guys' favorite original of mine? I really like Emeryld Stone for whatever reason. Even though it's like kind of like half of like a joke. Like I always love playing Emeryld Stone. It's like super fun. Super fun to play. It's a good range for me. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. How the hills in the mist seem to speak of a tale that is not yet complete. Bonds that are soon to be born in emerald stone. Green as the thumb of the gardener is poor, as the cliff tops that give way to shore, jagged rocks that are centuries worn by emerald stone. And still the stone shines for no one. Stashed away under the power and cover of sea, controlled by the moon, we'll find a way soon to return again. Oh, in the guise of a warning has come, in a maelstrom first seen by the young, who took notice and soon turned to run. Ride, the sails in the mist said to ride, from the coast to the lush countryside, the godless corruption subsides. Now the stone shines for no one, stashed away under the power and cover of sea, controlled by the moon, we'll find a way soon. Be flat to return again. Oh my God. Oh, Nicholas, thank you. Thank you for the donation. Oh, I love it. So that's a fun one. It's a fun one for me to play. Thank you, Yarasub. Yarasub, thank you also for all the support across all the channels and everything. That's really cool. Yeah. So not the finger ease is a good spray. You know, I've heard about that. I've never tried it. Maybe I should try it. Could sound better. That's cool. Best original, down under, going under. Kevin, is that what you're talking about? It's funny, like I wasn't thinking I was gonna sing, so I've got a guitar that's in a different key than I usually. So with going under, I've got to make a decision. Do I go under how I usually sing it, or do I try to actually sing it the next octave up? Because like if I go under, got a foot in the grave and an eye on the door, one bad feeling and a dozen more. I feel like there's no energy there, right? It just seems kind of lame. Got a foot in the grave and an eye on the door, one bad feeling and a dozen more looking in my direction, calling me a fraud. Counting black clouds, praying for a little rain, flip a penny in the ocean and pray for a hurricane. Close my eyes and feel the pressure change. Hold on, gotta hold on now as it crumbles around me. Hold on, gotta hold on now to the devil now that it's found me. I can't help myself from going under. I can't help myself from going under. Last man standing, holding on to the mast. I had a dream of dry land, but it's fading fast. Bodies fly, never gonna see you again. I'm picking last words, slipping off into the wind, till my body hits the water, then I sink or swim. Don't look down, cause it'll all be over soon. Hold on, gotta hold on now, as it crumbles around me. Hold on, gotta hold on now, to the devil now that has found me. I can't help myself from going under. I can't help myself from going under. So that would be the up top version. It's as high as I can sing it. Post COVID voice right now. So give it a shot. That's it. Thanks, Jack White Range. Yeah, it is kind of Jack White Range. That's probably where it came from, you know. Higher's, you know what? Higher is always better if you can. I'll push back a little bit about that. I kind of used to think that, but I do feel like there's a sweet spot for every song. And I'm finding that sometimes it's a little lower, maybe, than before. But yeah. Oh, you don't know the song? It's Going Under. You should check it out. I feel like my rock songs are pretty good. It's nobody really listens to rock music anymore. But yeah. I feel like I can make rock songs. That's a good one. What? Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, it's kind of funny. Every time I'll post original music, or maybe somebody sees some of the original music, people will be like, oh, wow, this is surprisingly good. It's always kind of like, well, thanks. I mean, is it that surprising? Oh, Eclipse, Our Cause. That's a deep cut. Not many people, it's been a while since I've played that one. But, yeah, Eclipse, man, that's a fun song to play. I wonder how I'd play that tuned down. Yeah, anyways, I've got a ton of rock songs out there if anybody's interested. There's a bunch of them. I always thought Dragonfly was a really good one. Gone, I know a lot of people request that a lot. A Slept On one that I might redo this one actually. Is the last song in the cartoon. It's called Trigger Man. I made this cartoon. I'm sure some of you have seen it. But that's a cool song. Cause it's heavy. So maybe I'll do that now that I'm starting to do that shred stuff a little more. But that song's fun to play. It's called Trigger Man. It's like a lot of super tremolo picking. But I thought it was still kind of musical. That's where that sweep comes from. That. There's a lot of cool guitar stuff in that song. So yeah, I'll revisit that at some point. You know, Michael, thank you very much. Days of the New vibes. Okay, cool. Yeah, they got some cool stuff. Yeah, I have a looper. I just hadn't hooked it up. Bro, you rock. Your stuff really reminds me of Zeppelin. Oh my gosh. What? The greatest band of all time? Oh man, dude, Zeppelin is the best ever. Yeah, The Ocean. I mean, that's how I learned to write riffs, was just playing Jimmy Page riffs. I feel like I've got some cool riffs. There's a song called Wasteland. Ah, no, it's... There it is. Yeah, maybe I should make more rock songs. Try to bring it back. Yeah, so that song's called Wasteland. It starts in 5. Gone are the days when I had an excuse. Plenty of ways that I've side my own news. Then there's like a... That's kind of a fun one, you know. Do I prefer acoustic over electric? I think I do, actually. I think so, you know. Oh, Sam's chiming in, more rock. The thing about the rock thing is, like, it takes a lot of energy to really get myself to do that. Even like the rock singing, I don't know. I feel like I'm an okay singer, but I feel like my best singing is probably like rock style singing. But it's just like, it's a lot of energy. Especially playing all the instruments myself. It's like trying to like really kind of keep that going. God, I don't even remember how to play Stairway. Something like C, A minor, whatever. Something like that, right? Used to know it. Then there's the best part of Stairway is this. That's so sick, right? Because it's just A minor to G to F, right? Which again, that's the brilliance of Jimmy Page and the whole band. It's like, let's just vamp on A minor G F, right? A minor G F. But then that move, it's so good, and the reason it's so good is because like we're in the key of C, so we have F, it's major third, like that's an arpeggio, right? Bum 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 A G F A. And you just kind of throw it in so sparingly, like the goat riff writer, like of all time. I never play Pink Floyd. I don't know what my problem is, but I've never really gotten into Pink Floyd. And again, no shade for them, but you know, it's cool. Brandon, that's so cool to hear that you've been watching the videos and hanging out. Beck Bolero. I don't know Beck Bolero. What's a good? Let me try a Beck song. What's the best Beck song? Hot take: Colors is the best Beck album. That's my hot take. Let's see. There's got to be a Beck song that I know. Is this in the right key? Your sorry eyes cut through the bone. They make it hard to leave you alone. I can't do that. That's too low. That's good. Man, what if we just do it in standard? Sorry, da 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 dum. To leave you alone. It's a little better. Leave you here, wearing your wounds, waving your guns at somebody new. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. There's too many people you used to know. They see you coming, they see you go. They know your secrets, and you know theirs. This town is crazy, nobody cares. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of fighting. I'm fighting for a lost cause. There's a place where you are going that you ain't never been before. There's no one left to watch your back now. No one standing at your door. And that's what you thought love was for. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. Oh, what a good song. That's a fun one. That's it. Donovan. Oh, thank you, David. Yeah, I should probably play maybe a little higher up if I do that next time. I was just in standard. What's another? Oh, you know what? You know my favorite. All right, here's my favorite Beck song off the top of my head. It's probably Volcano. That's such a good song. Is that? How'd that go? That'd be an interesting acoustic. Maybe that'll be the challenge that I give myself for the 400,000. Be make a arrangement of Volcano by Beck, because that's such a cool song. Do you recommend a Tailor or a Martin acoustic guitar? Oh, that's tough, man. Really depends. I think if you have $1,200, get yourself a Martin Streetmaster. Is what I would recommend. If you have $4,000, get yourself a Tailor 816. That's tough, right? Not a lot of people have that much money, but I think that the Tailors all play better, right? I have a great relationship with both Tailor and Martin, and I just will say that the Tailors play better. And I think it's hard to argue that, you know what I mean? Like, I really respect the philosophies of both companies, because like Martin is like, all right, we made this guitar since 1942, and we're going to make the exact same guitar just with modern manufacturing practices. So you're going to have like a vintage instrument that people have played and that there's like historical significance to, right? And I think that's really cool that they kind of like just like have a tradition and they're like so like tied to it. And they do innovative stuff too. I don't want to say they don't innovate, but like that's kind of what I think of when I think of Martin. And that's why like having a Martin Dreadnought is almost like having a piece of history, even if it's a new one like this. I get vintage vibes just playing this, even though it's a brand new guitar. Whereas like Tailor, I feel like they're really just like trying to like change the game in a lot of things, you know, like the V-bracing thing I think is really cool. They take risks on stuff. And just the way that like their neck system works, I think that they play so consistent across the board that they're just awesome. But both of them are great, you know. I definitely think if you want like a Dreadnought, you would be hard pressed to say a Tailor Dreadnought is better than a Martin Dreadnought. I still feel like they do that better than anybody else. I mean, I will say I haven't played like a ton of Tailor Dreadnoughts, but there's something about just like I've never heard a Tailor sound like that. You know what I mean? It's just so, it's awesome, you know? But the Tailor stuff, like, I feel like I'm a better player almost. Like, it's just, they're so easy to play that they're just phenomenal, you know? And I felt that way about the GA3 that I got, which was a, you know, a less expensive one, still over $1,000, but, you know, that would be most like a 314 today, I think, which I don't know the prices off the top of my head. I still think that puts you over 2,000. But again, I think for 1,200, that Street Master is awesome. Also the GPC PA4, which I don't think they make that one anymore, but that was a Martin that I gigged with live for a long time. And that was a great guitar. But yeah, that, like, I'll stand by it. The 816 Tailor is like the best guitar I've ever played, you know? And if I just had to have one, I probably would pick that one. But the beautiful thing is I don't have to just have one. I get to have a Martin D35 too. And that's why it's like, it's awesome, because they're just different things. They do different things and they sound different and they just have different vibes, you know? So that's my thoughts on Tailor versus Martin. I love the Martin OMs. Really cool. Those are great. I like the double O's, I like the triple O's. That they don't make a bad guitar. You know what I mean? Like, they're so cool. You got a D16 GT for $1,000. Yeah, that's awesome. The nice thing about Martin, I will say, you can get some really cool deals on used Martins that I feel like are probably not as prevalent as some of the used Tailors. And that's a really cool way to go. Even like the DX stuff. I've played a lot of awesome Martin DXs and they're great, you know? So yeah, I would say, like, if you really search around a lot, you could probably find like a cool used Martin for like $600. I don't really think you could do that for a Tailor. So I think that makes a difference for sure. But again, there's no wrong answer. There are only right answers when it comes to those two companies because they're so good, you know? Did you see Nowhere In, the St. Vincent Annie Clark movie? Yes, I did. And you know, was it a good movie? No, but I enjoyed it. I'm a huge St. Vincent fan, man. Like, I just kind of dug seeing it. There were some really funny parts. I get what she was trying to say with it. You know, and I'm proud of her for kind of stepping out and doing that. But like, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're like an Annie Clark like super fan, because I almost kind of feel like you have to be an Annie Clark super fan to really appreciate Nowhere In. Yeah, so I enjoyed it, but I'm pretty sure most people would not, because I think trying to be objective about it, it wasn't like good, but I enjoyed it, you know, just because I love anything Annie Clark does, and I would love to get to know Annie Clark. That'd be cool. I used to play it. How do you play a... No, that's not it. That's the St. Vincent song. You ever heard that song? Does anybody know that song out there? Let's little name that tune. Oh, you got an A14 used for $1,800? That's pretty cool. Nice. Paint the black hole blacker. Paint the black hole black. I wonder if I do that with the thumbpick. Let's try that with the thumbpick. Still getting used to the thumb pick, but man, I love this thumb pick. Black Mountain Picks, if you guys are interested. Baby blue sedan. Don't know what that means, but that's cool. Baby blue. You guys, you gotta help me out with this intro joke. I still don't have an intro joke for this video tomorrow. The ultimate stress right now. You paid $50. Okay. Is Jimmy Page the greatest guitar player ever? Sure. I mean, you can make the argument. I guess I always still think. I don't know what I think. I think it's a dumb question, probably. It's like, how do you evaluate that? You can't, you know? I used to be like, oh, Jimi Hendrix is the best player ever. And then now it's like, why don't I just say Elliott Smith? He's my favorite ever, you know? Like, who's better? Who's better than Elliott Smith? Nobody, you know what I mean? Who's better than Jimi Hendrix? Nobody. That's why it's... I definitely am in the Hendrix camp. Yeah, Jimmy Page is just awesome, you know? They're all great. Oh, Babe Blue Sedan. That was the guess of the song. An old Chinese song called Tu Ring. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I definitely used to. I used to just tell people Jimi Hendrix was like the best guitar. I knew for a fact Jimi Hendrix was the best guitar player ever. Yeah, so I don't know, Django Reinhardt. Sure, right? Who's better than Django Reinhardt? If you take away everybody's fingers, you only have 2 of them. Absolutely. Did you just know when you were ready to step up the guitar, like to your Tailor GA3? Yeah, there was a moment. So I used to have a Guild, CV1, I think is what it was called. And it was a cool guitar, but it sounded really good. It looked super sharp. But it was hard to play. I could never get the action right. I took it to people there for whatever reason. Nobody could ever get the action right of that guitar. Like it was like an inch off the fretboard, like near the neck. And I remember I actually had like one of the few like paying gigs I had to like record acoustic guitar for somebody. And I was like in my home studio tracking it, and I couldn't get the bar chords clean because the action was so bad on that Guild, and I could never get it fixed. So I was so exasperated. I went into the guitar shop, old Sarasota Guitar Company back when that was in business, and Justin Mitchell was working, and he's like, bro, like you need to get, like you're getting paid for this stuff now. You need to get something better. And that Tailor GA3 was there. And I traded the Guild in, and I threw some cash at it, and all total it was like $1,200. And I never looked back. Like instantly, I was like, this was like a big upgrade. And again, I don't even want to say anything bad about Guild. I think it was specifically that guitar that I could just never get right. But yeah, ever since then, I've just been rocking the GA3, and it's been awesome. You know. Mm-hmm. So that's the story. The story of the GA3. Sound your unthumb-picked hand produces. Yeah. Your unthumb picking is an interesting way to describe that. But that's that would be the opening joke. Oh, the opening joke. All right. Yes, I'm still live, Surf B. Still here. When you're not teaching guitar on YouTube, I'm watering my plastic trees around the house. So dumb. See, the when I'm not intro, those are just for the QA. There's different types of intro jokes. Only the QA, that's the brand. It's the brand of the QA joke. Yeah, I did. I finished the 30-day singer course. Did you watch that video? It's definitely improved. It's rough now because I'm not at my best. I'm in my post-COVID coughing thing. Yeah, get that, Sam. Try it. Give it a shot. You know what? It's got to be the right thumb pick. So it's like, again, I feel like I'm sounding like a corporate shill. So here's what I always thought a thumb pick was. Right? These are like the little Dunlop ones, and like. I always thought these were kind of hard to use because like they don't really fit great. It doesn't feel super great on my, like, it doesn't sound bad. Lots of people get these to sound amazing, right? But then if I try to use it as a pick, like on the upstrokes, I almost feel like I can sense the separation in the pick. Like when I'm going down, it's fine. But then when I go up, I feel like I'm playing with a broken pick. That's why these Black Mountain picks are great, because of the spring. When you're not using it as a thumb pick, you just use it as a regular pick. So like all of the pressure, you hold it just like a regular pick when you're not using it as a thumb pick. And it's like I feel like I can I still play like how I normally could, right? Oh, you have the Black Mountain one. Oh, well then yeah. Then Sam, that's the one to use for sure. Because yeah, it just I feel like it. I'm just the more I use it, the more I find interesting ways to kind of like actually use them, right? Any cool random stories about Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice? I remember seeing some posts on Instagram sometime back of us hanging out with her and Drea. Yeah, Elizabeth is great. She's such a joyful person. Ridiculous. I met her randomly at a convention. All right, so here's a story about meeting Elizabeth, right? So I met on a whim, I decided I wanted to go to this game sound convention called Game Sound Con. Okay, this is in Los Angeles. And I was doing some sponsored videos for this one company. And the way that it works with a lot of these companies, oh my gosh, you donate Cheddar. My man Cheddar coming through. Miss you, buddy. Appreciate you. And yeah, so I just got a funny text. So I had this contact who was representing a bunch of companies, because usually like a company will hire like a marketing person, and a marketing person might have a bunch of different contacts. So I ended up on this marketing person's newsletter, and it's like, oh, hey, there's this convention coming up, Game Sound Con. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, can you get me a press pass and I'll go as a YouTuber make some videos? So I ended up making some Game Sound Con videos, right? And they hooked me up with the guy who put the whole thing on, asking if I wanted access to anybody for interviews, right? And then I noticed that one of the guys who was like the keynote speaker, I think, or maybe it wasn't, maybe he was just teaching some classes, was a guy named Marty O'Donnell, okay? He did the music for Halo. Like iconic video game soundtrack, right? So my brother, actually, funny enough, was the #1 ranked Halo 2 player in the world, which is awesome. So we were big Halo fans. We played Halo in this household. So I'm like, oh, I'd love to talk to Marty O'Donnell, right? So I start emailing Marty, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna be at the convention tomorrow. Just, you know, if you want to do an interview, like we do an interview on my YouTube, and like he has a YouTube channel, and he has some questions, and he seemed like a super cool guy. So I meet up with him in this hallway, right? In the historic Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. And I meet Marty, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And we were just trying to figure out time to do the interview. And then I hear this voice go, Marty, right? And another thing about Game Sound Con, it's like total sausage fest, right? It's like all dudes, all video game bros, which is great, but not a lot of women to be seen, right? So me and Marty look in return, and Marty's like, Elizabeth, and it's Elizabeth from the Charismatic Voice. It's the first time I had no idea who she was, you know what I mean? She's an opera singer at this time, and it was so funny because, again, it was a whole hallway packed with video game bros, and like the C split, and like this just like gorgeous, exuberant, charismatic woman just like parts the C's. And she's like, Marty, and I guess they knew each other because she like, I guess, did some opera stuff for one of his games or whatever, right? So I'm like, hey. What's up? And she's like, oh, hi, I'm Elizabeth. And then we all went out to lunch together and we started talking. And then she had a few YouTube videos up, just kind of like teaching singing and stuff. And Marty was hyping her up. She's like, yeah, this girl's amazing. She sang for like the Los Angeles like opera. She's like traveled the world and stuff like that. So then me and her kind of hit it off. And then we went out and we got just like some coffee, and she just like picked my brain on YouTube, which I feel like I'm pretty intimately familiar with like the YouTube analytics at this point. I've actually been doing like more consulting over the last couple of years. So I was like, listen, like you're a hyper intelligent, gorgeous, charismatic woman. You should have a YouTube channel about what you do. And I was like, honestly, like you should probably do reaction videos because your reaction videos would absolutely slay. There's no limit to the amount of following that you could get if you started doing reaction videos. So, you know, we kind of became buddies, and she showed me around Disneyland in Anaheim, which was cool. And then she started her Charismatic Voice YouTube channel. And like I said, I gave her some ideas, like, oh, you should probably react to like one thing is cool, like you know opera, as someone who knows nothing about opera, that scene from The Fifth Element where like the blue alien person is like saying opera, you should react to that. That would be a cool video, right? So she did that, and people really liked that. And then someone in the comments said, hey, you should react to this Dimash guy who does this song. So then her next video was reacting to Dimash doing the Diva Dance song from Fifth Element. And then as soon as she did that, her channel exploded. And now she's like killing it. I'm so proud of my girl. Out there just like destroying it. Cause like it couldn't have happened to a better person. She's like just so nice. She's like so pure. Like just such a pure, joyful, amazing person. And that's how I met the charismatic voice, Elizabeth. And now she's far surpassed. Man, she had her 400,000 subscriber special a while ago. What is she at even? Why am I'm putting my thumb pick in my mouth? What? Such a tool. Let's see what Elizabeth is at. Guys, she like kills it. Charismatic voice. She's over 700,000 followers. That's amazing. She does 10 times the traffic I do. That's amazing. That's so cool. You know, and people would say, you know what, Sean, it's all because of you. It's really you're the sole reason for her success, and I would agree with you. 100% would agree with you. It's pretty funny. Kind of dig it. Nice. What's up, man? Come on, shout out to Michigan. We're freezing up here. Chuck, my man Chuck. That's why I escaped. Come on, dude. Went to high school in Grand Haven. Graduated from Grand Valley State. And then I got the F out of Michigan. Because it is so cold in Michigan. I remember one Christmas, my last Christmas in Michigan, I was driving. I had like a 30-minute drive from this Christmas party I was going to. And I was going like 10 miles an hour because it was icy. And I just hit some black ice, and I just started spinning uncontrollably. Just down the freeway, just through the lanes, had no control of the car. Luckily, no one was coming. And I just kind of spinned until I ended up in like a snowbank. And I was like, you know what? Michigan's not for me. Would have been the end of my life if a truck was coming the other way. Michigan, not for me. So yes, Chuck, shout out to Michigan, but get out of Michigan as soon as you can, my man. Florida will welcome you with open arms. Yeah, Cheddar, you can leave. But, buddy, you can do it. You've done it before. You've been to other lands. You can do it. Do you even go into work, Cheddar? I thought you work remote. Just leave. You just do it from here. You can just stay in my guest room for as long as you need. You got it. It's so funny. You never heard Volcano until you mentioned it. What, right? Shooter McGavin. That dude, Volcano is an awesome song, right? It is Radiohead-ish. Such a good one. Sam, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. You're the best. Hallmark called and asked if you need a magic carpet. No, I don't need anything except for an opportunity. That's all I need, Hallmark. Just an opportunity. Love that. Yeah, sorry, Boris. My man, Red Walrus, so good to see you. Thank you so much for the kind words. But you know what? We're not stopping here, guys. I love that. Like motivational speaker YouTube guys. Sean gang, SD gang, we're not stopping here, guys. We're not stopping until we get to 405,000 subs. We'll show the world. We're going to shock the world. Oh, man. This is D35. D35. It's got the split back. That's how you know it's a D35, because it's classy. Thank you, Raven. Pandu knows what's up. We ride to 500,000. Maybe that'll be the new, well, what did I already forgot what my hashtag was for 2022. I've been live so long, I forgot what I started this whole video with. Something was funny. Oh, look at, oh, my man at Become the Night. Congrats on 400K, dude. Love it. Yeah, I just totally lost my train of thought. I had a hashtag I was trying to start earlier, and I don't, oh, hashtag Johan. Trying to get more children to be named Johan. That's what it was. That's how it started. Tune into Sean for guitar, gets jokes, and girl stories too. Yeah, that's man, we could keep going for a while. Seems to the storybook expands every single day. 1 million, baby. It goes quick now, does it? You just have to hit once you hit 400,000, the floodgates open up. Yeah. That's where we're at. Key of 22 is the key of A. As I just played a G major because this guitar is tuned down a step. The key of A is the key of 2022, everybody. I hope we all enjoy. Johan, watch the anime monster Johan. Great story. Maybe I should start getting into anime. People really swear by anime. I feel like I probably like it. Do you like varied wood bodies or single for tone? Great question. I feel like I don't care. Like, I feel like I'm starting to develop an ear for stuff. I did a video shoot with Court guitars in January. This is January. In December, I did a video for Court, or a bunch of videos for them with all their whole new line of acoustics for their stuff. And it was one of those things where, like, I'd play something and they would quickly swap it out for another guitar, right? And I found that of all the woods, the ones that I was able to diagnose correctly, where I could, like, close my eyes and be like, that is the sound of, is mahogany. I feel like solid mahogany, back and sides and top, is something that has, like, for sure a sonic characteristic that I can, like, differentiate. Other than that, it really seems like spruce top is where it's at. And then, like, the back and sides for sure make a difference. Like, for instance, like the video yesterday, you can kind of hear the Sapelli back and sides on the GA3 versus the Indian Rosewood back and sides on the 816 kind of has a cleaner articulation in the sound. But honestly, when it comes to like that versus like something that's like 3 pieces of wood versus even like a laminate back and sides, as long as it's like a well-made guitar, I feel like it still sounds good. It just sounds kind of like different. It's not a huge deal. But I do feel like I can hear the sound of a full body mahogany guitar now, which I guess good for me. Good for me. Love it. There are lots of children being named Johann. Is German? Is Johann a fancy new German name or in style? The key of Canada's Ayyy. I love it. Favorite open chord progression. Ooh, I got a good one. It's one of my new songs that I've been working on. I debuted it. I debuted this new song in the singing video, right? I don't even know if I can still sing right now because my voice is so shot from coughing and from speaking uninterrupted for over 2 hours now. But it's like, it sounds like this, right? Are these open chords? This is an E major 7. is a reflex from an action. Or instinct in my blood. That draws me into friction that I find myself part of. From a seat of hesitation to a badly rattled cage, comes a confidence and purpose. Here's the open part with division underway. Why else would you be in my window? An involuntary movement. Look then, look away. Embracing in the subtext, then feeling our way through. Words could navigate. And this is my reflection on your palm. Your reaction cannot stop. Time is just energy set into motion, pointed away. This is my reflection on your palm. And your reaction cannot stop. Time is just energy, and choice is a reflex. Pointed away. So I feel like that. Are those open chords? Oh, Joey, my man Joey. I haven't heard from you in so long. Hope you're doing well, buddy. That's cool. Yeah, so it's me trying to sing that. Voice is a little shot, but those chords I feel are all open, right? Like, again, tune down a step, disclaimer, but I'm gonna refer to them as if it were in standard tuning. So E major 7 is really just like the E on the A string. 6, it's major 3rd on the D string, and then the major 7, the 8th fret on the G string, but then keeping it open, right? And then back a step to make like a D major 7, but like not. And then the really cool part that I think is the C major, E major 7, A major. Like how beautiful is that? yeah, I really like that song a lot. That song kind of means a lot to me. I feel like it's one of those things where I was able to get the music to sound how the context of the lyrics felt, which I always feel is like a good indicator that you're doing something right, you know, whether anybody ends up like listening to this or not. But yeah, I just think that there's something so, and that's like, I don't know, it's really Lydian. Like if we want to talk about like music theory, it's like the sound of Lydian and the sound of major 7 chords. And it's like, yeah, I use a lot of major 7 chords for sure, but it's like, it's not even just using a certain amount of chord voicings. It's like, how do you use those? And it's like, all right, well, where's the resolution here, right? I guess it's E, right? There's E major, but like when you have that, and then you just go down a step. So this would be like a flat 7 major 7 from E to D, and then, well, what's C major, right? It's like C major 7. It's like, well, that's not a E and C. Like, how do those really work together? But then, like, when you give each slot of time, right, of music, its own feel, it's like, it's less about the key that you're in, and it's more about like how that part of the song occupies its own feel. And that's what I really love about, I guess, the Lydian mode, which you'd say that my songs are in, I guess, if you had to like make a music theory term for it. I think that's like something that's like really, really interesting, because it's not about, this is the 1 chord in the key of E, and this is the flat 7 major 7 chord in the key of E. And then, oh, well, C. So if you're going through the E major scale, you know, you'd be E. If I, you know, it's a what, sharp a minor 6, major 7. It's like, no, it's like you have a feeling and a vibe, and then you're moving that vibe. But the B and the E, which again are the root and the 5 of E, is a glue that kind of keeps it grounded. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're moving, when you're taking a vibe, which again, I think of like a major 7 as the 4 chord is the vibe, but you're gluing it together with notes that are in a parent key, which would be the key of E, which is why it resolves there. Then you kind of end up with something cool. And I think that's just like something really cool. And then, you know, you have like the little bridge. So I think just kind of like playing around with like the key is just something that interests me a lot as a songwriter, because sitting in a key and playing everything diatonically is great, but I think that you're almost handcuffed a little when you're trying to accompany the vibe of a song with something, right? Because I think the songs that I write that I like the best are the ones with the most complex feelings. And I think some people would call that a complex chord progression. I don't think so, because they're all open chords for sure. But yeah, I guess this is kind of like my train of thought going through all those things. Yeah. So it's kind of dreamy, right? Says my man Chad. Rich Light says it's Sean Daniel-esque. Yeah, for sure. It's because it's like the same stuff rearranged all over the place, you know. Old school later in the year. Oh, I appreciate everybody. That's cool. You think it turns into a massive tone? I mean, you know, it could. I think there's that's the risk that you run when you have a bunch of open stuff that isn't in the same key. But I definitely think it works for sure, you know. Yeah, moving up and down the fretboard. I think that's just where it really comes down to, you know, actually, good call on America, actually. Not saying that my stuff sounds like America, but there are some America songs that remind me of that, specifically because I could be totally wrong on this. I'm trying to remember some songs that I actually taught from America where they use a lot of open A major 7 chords. I say a lot. I'm probably thinking of like one song in like their discography, you know. But I definitely think A in the key of E. This A major 7 in the key of E is how I could distill what I think my sound is, because that's the 4 chord in the key, right? E, F sharp, G, A, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A major 7 in a song where you never play an E major is a great way to kind of talk about how to really create a vibe, right? Like I was playing Parador earlier, right? Okay, so if we talk about that, it's like the chords in standard would be C sharp minor, B7, A major 7, G sharp minor 7, A major 7, C sharp minor 7, D major 7, back to A, right? I think that's a peppy kind of thing in the same ballpark as the song I just played. But if we were to number these chords in the key of E, which is what it is, we'd have a 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 6, flat 7, 4. It keeps coming back to 4. I'm making my way to 4. There it is. Then go below it, then back up to it. Then back down, then up, and then there. And then I can descend. 5, 4, 6, 3, flat 7. So by the time we finally get home, it's like you feel like you've achieved something, right? Right, and that's kind of what I think. I don't know, when I think of songwriting or my own personal style, and it's like that's where like the fun is like the storytelling in the chord composition and construction, and that's why Lydian, or the 4 chord in any key as a major 7 chord, is just where it's always going to be at for me, because it's a question. You know what I mean? At the risk of sounding like Hans Zimmer, it begs a question that doesn't resolve on itself. It resolves home, right? But I don't know how much in life is ever resolved. I think that's why it's like the feelings that make me want to like write different songs and stuff they're always right there. You know what I mean? This is where it's at. Where it's at. Love it. See, Rich said it creates a sophisticated sound. Thank you very much. Sounds like the beginning of Ventura Highway. Sure, why not? Yeah. An America tone. Okay, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they played a D35, to be honest, you know. High E is a pedal tone, right? I mean, because you can kind of just hang on to it. Similar to Coldplay from a chordal standpoint without the resolution and starting on the 4. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, and definitely those first 2 albums were huge influences on me, because those hit right when I started writing songs. And I feel like even something like... Is there a more perfect example of like the power of the 4 chord right there? The whole song is in the key of C. It starts with the F major 7, my favorite chord voicing of all time, with a double hammer on F. It's like you can't think of a better way to establish that you're playing in F Lydian, and then A minor, B, C. And that's the thing, when you run the risk of hitting the 1 chord, you're always at the risk of shifting that tonal center home, but that's why it's like 4. Like, no, 4 is where it's at. It occupies so much of like the real estate. Then D minor, right? Which is in the 2 chord, the key of C, right? C, G, D minor, C. So why is D minor important? Well, because it's the 2 chord in the key of C, but it's also the relative minor in the key of F. So you're right, Coldplay definitely does do that a lot, where they'll take the 4 chord and treat it as the 1 chord. And I think that definitely gives you that kind of dreamy sound, you know? Or at least that's how Chris Martin used to do it back when he was good. So stupid. The dumb hot take. Thinks Martin D16 just said it, I forget now. Chris Martin guitars. You know what's funny? Like, so I'm at the Martin Guitar Factory, and they bring us into this room warehouse, and they were holding guitars there for certain artists, and one wall, a huge wall, was it just said for Chris Martin, and they're like, yeah, these are Chris Martin's guitars, and I'm like, why does Chris Martin need this many guitars at the Martin Guitar Factory? I feel so stupid. Thankfully, I didn't say anything and embarrass myself to the Martin rep. And it's like, well, the Coldplay guy sure has a lot of guitars at the Martin factory. Guess who else's name is Chris Martin? C.F. Martin. Chris Martin is like the owner of the company. So those were Chris Martin's guitars. And not Chris Martin's guitars. That was pretty funny. Why does Chris Martin have so many guitars here? And now I know. Your video is going to be about stacking positions. You should try stacking other things and stacking 3 notes per string. Maybe the intro joke is about stacking and different things that I'm stacking. All right, now you got me thinking. My man Arcaz, for sure. Yes, exactly. Using the tension to drive the song forward. That's the beautiful thing about the 4 chord. Sean, you're playing so simple, yet it sounds amazing. You know, thank you, first of all. I think a lot of it is confidence, right? Like, I'm not sure if you're talking about the Coldplay one or this one, but I think it's really about it's the confidence in your right hand, knowing that your left hand is going to be where it needs to be on time. You know, so it's like the beautiful thing about open chords, something like this. You can see that like there's a lot of play in here. Like anything is fair game here. So I think the prettiness of it is playing in 3/4 for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I naturally write everything in 3. Okay, so it's like I feel like I'm good at kind of like finding my way, working my way around in a pattern of 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3. And kind of like jumping back and forth between the low and the high band of the guitar. And it's not even anything I'm aiming for, you know, it's just kind of like playing around. And then just knowing where you can kind of, like right there, that's I know that I can play a 9 here. So it's really just kind of, I don't know, the right hand being a little busier, but in time, where it's still getting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still that timing where it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fill in the blanks. acoustic. So I guess maybe that's kind of why you can make, it doesn't have to be fancy. You just kind of fill in the blanks with your right hand. Maybe that's it. Could be it. Hey, that bug is gone. That was on the opposite wall. Yeah. Simplistic playing creates complexity of you start off to complex, you have nowhere to go. Yeah, for sure. Playing the backbone and writing something great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rich. Always have great comments. Cool song to sing and play that isn't too demanding on the vocal range. Someone just referenced Johnny Cash. Ring of Fire is a good one for that one. I mean, everybody's vocal range is different too. You know what I mean? You know, it's not bad. I'm trying to think. That Beck song that I played earlier, Lost Cause, that's a good one. You know, it's not bad that people think is hard. Is Sweet Child of Mine. If you just play it like. Like in a certain register, just D, C, and G. Again, I'm down a step. But that's like actually. Bum, 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 bum. Like most of it are just like these 4 notes. Right? If we're just, those are like all the notes in the song, pretty much. You know what I mean? So if you find a thing that works for it, it's an easy song to play. Something that people are gonna know, but it's really it's really not too bad. And the nice thing about it, if you know you're not a great singer, is like is that half step is really easy to do. Half steps are super easy because it's like you almost naturally just will drift a half step anyway. I was thinking that's an easy one to sing in a range, right? That's a good one. Can't hear me singing in Barry White's register. I would just put a capo on, put that Barry White capo on, right? Yeah, so maybe that's my answer, sure. Can't get enough of your love, baby. It's so funny. Do you find that your interests in different types of music vary throughout the year? For me, winter is for jazz, summer is for blues and country. Yeah, for sure. You know, I guess genre kind of comes into that. Like, I don't know, like bossa nova is definitely more of a summertime thing for me. I feel like, again, we don't experience the seasons as severely here in Florida, but just even in winter, even though it's like sunny and like 80 still, like it's still indie alternative for the winters, you know? So like, yeah, winter I listen to like a lot of like Big Thief, Elliott Smith, Radiohead. And then like spring is like a little more pop, like Muse. I'll be into Muse in the spring. And then yeah, summer just kind of keep it light. So again, those aren't really genres per se, but they're different vibes for sure. But yeah, that's a good question because that's something that's always. I definitely remember summertime was like Zeppelin time for me too back when I lived in Michigan. That was like rock time for sure. Yeah, Florida is warmish. You know, the humidity is actually not bad right now, which is really, really cool. So that's fun. Guitar Dog message retracted. Have you had an encounter with a gator? Sure. Yeah, I used to work at a golf course. I used to be a caddy for a golf course, like a super ritzy private club called The Concession. Jack Nicklaus course, designed with Tony Jacklin. And I remember, so couple things. So we have this highway called I-75 that kind of runs, it goes from Florida up to like, Indiana, Michigan, whatever. And it kind of cuts the left part, or the west part of Florida, where you have the Gulf side, and then you have east of 75 is like the land where like nature still, the law of nature rules supreme. And once you get east of 75, like you get some like wildlife, you know what I'm saying? So this golf course was definitely a few miles east of 75. And I remember driving to the golf course like super early, because you'd have to get there like 5, 6 a.m., And I'm like, what is that on the side of the road? Like in Michigan, you would see maybe like a dead deer or something on the side of the road. There was a dead, like 10-foot gator on the side of the road that just got hit by like a car. And it's like, oh my God. It's so funny. So I pull into work, and then I see one of the fellow caddies. You can see the car's like tires like all jacked. And I'm like, it was you. And they're like, I cannot believe what happened. I just ran over an alligator. So luckily I was like 5 minutes behind potentially hitting a gator with my car, which is just so bizarre to think about. But I remember one time I was tracking this guy's ball, and the thing is, when you're a golf caddy, the number one thing you have to do is make sure they don't lose golf balls, right? Because all these rich guys are playing, the Titleist Pro V1s, $3 per ball or whatever. So I track this guy's wayward shot, and then what happens is, if you're like a caddy, you make a line of sight, right? Because you can't just like locate a ball from 200 yards away. So what you do is you make a line of sight and you just start walking on your line, right? So I'm just kind of walking, and I've got my line of sight, and I'm just walking across, and this is like on the 9th hole, which is like you have the first hole, you have a lake, and you have the 9th hole going on the opposite side. So I'm walking to my line of sight looking for the ball, and then one of my buddies was caddying his first loop start on the first hole, and he's like, "You might want to slow down," and I'm like, "Huh?" And I look up, and my line of sight was leading me directly to like a 7-foot gator. But I was so hyper-focused on the ball that I'm not looking around like an idiot. This is early on in the caddy days. And I look up, and the gator's just chilling, just like, sunning. And I'm like, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you potentially saving my limbs from a gator attack. So that's pretty much, those are like the close calls I've had. But yeah, it's always a trip seeing them, Yes, Alexander, we're still up. Caddyshack stories. A dude straight up changed my life. I remember. So when you're a golf caddy, doing a round is a loop, right? You do one loop. You can maybe do a couple loops a day if like you're good. That's like 2 full rounds. Honestly, usually like you'd average 1. Sometimes you could do more, especially for the course that I was at, because it was like such a long course. This course was so hard. I think they played a Ryder Cup there actually a couple years ago, but it's like such a, like, even just like the length between holes would be like a quarter mile sometimes, right? So when I first got there, I was so over my skis with it, because I could play golf, but I was like a weekend warrior golfer, like just like as far as like any kind of like athlete could play golf. Like I can play golf and play like double bogey golf. But the people who were caddying there were like legit pros from up north who would come down and caddy during season. So like it's like me and a bunch of golf pros. But the reason they hired me is they needed 4 caddies, right? So what that is you're running with the carts. Like you don't have a bag that you're carrying. You've got 2 carts of 4 people, and like you're running ahead of the cart to watch their drives from like 200 yards ahead. And then you're still like, you're raking their bunkers, you're filling in their divots on the cart, and then you sprint to the next guy, maybe give them yardage, sprint to the next guy. And it's like a workout. And the thing about these pros is like a lot of them were in like their 40s and 50s, and they couldn't really run the course, right? Because the course itself was like 9 miles. But like I've always been pretty fast, like the basketball training definitely did me good from the forecading thing. So I had like wheels, right? So my job was just to try to just be a cool dude and then just sprint. So it was like just every day, just wind sprint, wind sprint, wind sprint. So I got like hella fast being a 4caddy. And I remember these 2 guys came from Chicago, and this is near one of the last months that I worked at this place. And what happens is usually you play the round, and then they tip you on the 18th green is how it usually works, right? And generally you end up making about $100 like a day on average. Like if you're doing a bag carry, you'd get like $60 for the bag carry, and they'd probably tip you 40, right? The nice thing about being a 4caddy is you might get like 4 tips. So you make like whatever, $50 to do the job, and then maybe everybody tips you $15 in a foursome, right? So it ends up being pretty good money. Make $100 a day. It only takes a few hours. You're getting sunshine, you get exercise. Really cool job. Even though it's technically the service industry, so there's stories, But I remember that the worst job that you could get would be a 4caddy for 2 people, right? Because like, I'm not going to make any money today because you're guaranteed $30 plus maybe $15 each guy. And since there's only 2 instead of 4, you might end up like at a $60 loop. So you just make $60 for the day and then go home. But I don't care. It's like, whatever. I'm just out here, as long as I'm getting exercise and I make some money, like I'm good. And I always had a good attitude about it. So I think other people passed up this 2-person and a cart loop. And they're cool guys. They're cool guys from Chicago. They weren't great golfers. And the thing is, this course was so difficult because it's meant to be a PGA Tour course, which if people don't understand golf that much, and they've never played like a professional course, like there is such a difference between like your public course that you pay like $30 to play 9 or 18 holes. There's such a difference between that course and like a professional golf course that like would host a PGA Tour events. Like it's not fair. I caddied hundreds of loops there with so many pros, never ever saw a single eagle. And I'm talking about like Paul Azinger, this was like his home course. Like nobody could score on this course because it's just so difficult. So especially if you're not like a great golfer and you're just going out there to have fun, it's not fun because like you're going to shoot like triple bogeys, quadruple bogeys a lot because the undulation of the greens is like, it's just insane. If any of you are golfers and you've just played like public courses, do yourself a favor and like splurge and like pay the $200 to go play like a nice like PGA quality course because it's such a different world. So again, usually what I'm saying is, usually you get tipped by the time these guys are worn down and they're like, that was a daunting experience. Didn't have as much fun as I thought because that course was so tough, but thank you for helping. So the second hole, I read the greens for this guy and I'm like, yeah, this is downhill. You're going to want to put it maybe like a ball and a half outside. It looks like it's going to break, but it's not. You know what I mean? So I made a good read for this guy and he was like, oh, and he made a nice putt. It was a nice 2-putt. And the guy's like, hey, thanks, great read. And he gives me $200 cash. And I'm like, oh my God. Like at that point, the biggest tip I had ever gotten for a round was $220, I think, when I caddied for a guy who like won the club championships. It was like a special occasion or whatever. Sorry if people are here for music and I'm just going off on golf stories, but like the guy gives me $200 on the second hole of the course. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome, right? Which is really a great strategy because like I was busting my ass the rest of that round because I was just so like thankful, and they were cool guys. They're from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. We're talking sports and stuff. So we make it, they hack their way through the rest of that course. and it was rough. Like it was definitely like I think they stopped keeping score, but it would have been like 120 strokes or something like that. But so we're heading back to the clubhouse. And the funny thing is, at this time, we had a temporary clubhouse, a new course. So I would actually ride on the back of the golf cart from the 18th green back to the clubhouse, because it would have been like another half-mile run, sprint, essentially, for me to go with. And then usually you clean their clubs and you put their clubs in their car and stuff, right? So I'm riding on the back of this golf cart, and we're having a conversation from them in the driving the cart and me on the back. And they're like, hey, we tipped you already, right? And I'm like, yeah, you did on the second hole. And they're like, how much did I give you? And I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna like want some of the money back because he had like a bad experience. And I'm like, sir, you gave me like $200. And he's like, ah. And he's like, well, here's another 100. And he throws up a hundo from inside the cart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. And he's like, all right, well, here's another 100. Just shut up about it. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. He's like, all right, if I give you $400 more, will you just shut up? And I'm like, whatever you want, man. So these guys end up giving me like a $900 tip. And I'm like, I was like so speechless that it was amazing. Like, again, that was such an enormous sum of money for me at the time. And I had to go back to Michigan to finish up my degree. That's a whole other story. I was one class shy. I thought I had graduated, but I never got my degree because they said I was one class shy, even though like I graduated, whatever. So I had to go back to Michigan to take one more class. And because of that tip, I was able to like actually I just lived off of that tip for that summer and had like a great summer. I didn't have to work that summer because of those guys. So that was my best caddy story, because man, that's awesome. That legit like changed my life, that money at the time. So someday I feel like I'm gonna do that to somebody. I don't feel like I'm in the position right now that I could give $900 away to like a service person, but I feel like someday I probably will. And I don't know if any of y'all are in the position to do that. Definitely consider it, because that kind of like gift like totally changed my life, and like I will never forget those guys. And that was awesome. So that's my best caddy story. But it was a good time. I definitely learned a lot, for sure. Sorry if I missed like a bunch of questions, but I have the second most famous couch on the internet. That's hear you on that. Second most famous groundhog reference. Which Elixir strings do you use? I like the NanoWeb 12s. I like the Bog Street coated 12s. I generally use 12s for the most part. I've been using Elixir 11s on my performance guitars more, but I feel like now it's like fine. I used to wimp out and go 11s for the live stuff, but now 12s are just like what I play pretty much all the time. Mm-hmm. My degree was in communications. I went to college at Grand Valley State. I went to Western Michigan University for 2 years, liberal arts, essentially, right? And then I graduated from Grand Valley State. Yep. Yeah, so 12s. Yeah, 11. I used to use the Elixir custom lights, which are 11s, on the Martin GPC PA4, and those are great too. Again, 11s or 12s. I'm pretty sure these are 12s though. And I am a profound communicator. Brian went to GVSU too. I feel like maybe we had this conversation once in one of the previous live streams. But yeah, gotta love those Lakers. I gotta get out. I want to get in the GVSU, the magazine. You know, I've never tried String Joys actually, but my buddy, I have a good friend who works there now, so I should probably hit him up and do that. Martin versus Tailor. I had that conversation earlier in the live feed, but can't go wrong. Summary: both. Too long didn't read. Martin and Tailor. GVSU Ellen rocks 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Exactly. Yeah. Alexander knows what's up. Oh, I just saw the bug again. Just sprint across. This is going to drive me crazy now for the rest of the night. Having night terrors about this palmetto bug. Huh. You like their customizable string gauges? Yeah, I could see that. Like it custom. Classy people like it custom. Yeah, heavier string. I started off on heavier strings. I used to use 13s pretty exclusively, but then in my weakened state of playing so much guitar, I've switched. The bug has now climbed into the Supro amp. Yeah, of course I'm still vegan. Always vegan, man. I rock the V for life. I will never cheat on that, which is why I can't kill this bug. Actually, I feel like I'm not above killing bugs. I'll kill a bug if it's necessary. Where all the girls at? They're out doing their thing. Needed a break. Needed some Sean time. Some 400k Sean time. The bug is like Mr. Marbles haunting my nights. Oh man, that's great. What do you hope to accomplish teaching guitar on YouTube? That's interesting. I feel like I could read that question in a couple different ways. Like I could read that like what do you hope to accomplish teaching guitar on YouTube? I'm gonna choose not to read it that way. Well, it's funny. It's like I legit started just wanting to like kind of help people out because I was teaching guitar in person a lot. And there were like so many things that I had taught just being a self-taught person that I never heard anybody explain before. Not that I invented any kind of teaching technique or whatever, but the main thing, there are a couple main things, right? Like the main thing that I wanted everybody to know is that the major scale is made up of 7 notes. Don't worry about learning the 7 notes, but know that there are 7 notes and each one of those notes becomes a chord. The first note is always a major chord, and so is the 4th note and the 5th note. The 2nd note, the 3rd note, and the 6th note are always going to be minor chords. And that's all the music theory that you need to know, right? Like that was like my goal. Like people need to know this because I played guitar for like 10 years and I never understood that. Like I was always just playing songs and I had an idea of like what chords sounded good together. But I never was like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And that was like my first YouTube video was like basic music theory. Like if you're gonna learn one, like just learn this. And I had no ambitions of making money, of being a YouTuber, of getting a following. I legit just wanted people to understand that because I feel like if somebody would have told me that, if somebody would have explained to me the way that I could now explain to others, when I first started out, I feel like my guitar progress and journey would have been completely different. So I started doing that, and I was like, oh, cool. And then there are a few other things which I thought like a lot of people didn't really understand, myself included. When I say a lot of people, I say myself when I was learning. It's like, okay, well, it's not about learning, this is how you play A major 7, and this is how you play G minor 7, and this is like, I'm going to remember this D minor 9. It's like, no, it's not remembering fingerings, it's learning a shape and moving the shape, right? So you learn a dominant 7 chord shape, and then you just put it on one note, and there's G7, and then you move it, G sharp 7, A7, B flat 7, B7, C7, and then like learn a shape, and you've learned 12 new chords, instead of like learn this fingering, and then learn another one, and then another one, and those are 3 chords. It's like, all right, and now on, are we still there? Is it still working? And that was like where the learn 100 chords in 8 minutes or less video. Then that video was the one that like actually took off, and then all of a sudden I had like a following, And I was like, oh, well, this is really cool. I guess you could do this as a career. And then ever since then, I've been posting like every day. So what do I hope to accomplish? I feel like at this point, it's nice that I can kind of find a balance of like, I still feel like I'm helping people, but also I'm like paying my bills and like making a living doing it. and opens up like a lot of opportunities and like sponsorships. So now it's just like full-time gig that I will somehow find a way to springboard into a Hallmark acting movie career. Half kidding. So that's what I hope to accomplish teaching guitar on YouTube, among other things. You know, it's not just guitar. You've been watching long enough to find a Sean Daniel Mandela effect? Yeah, it's pretty great. Love that. Oh, you just you tagged me in a video of you singing Japanese. Cool. Yeah, I'll watch that if I can see that. However, it's been tagged. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I do. I try to post every day. You know, I'm gonna try to. I've always wondered if maybe posting every day actually hurts the channel from a algorithmic standpoint. And I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna try to experiment maybe a little more, where I'm not posting every day, but I'm still posting like a lot, you know? So I don't know. We'll see. The schedule is always going to be kind of fluid, but I'm still going to try posting as often as I can, you know? So would you want to be in a seasonal Hallmark movie? Which, I mean, it's got to be Christmas. It's got to be Christmas, right? Like if you're in a Hallmark movie that isn't a Christmas movie, were you ever even in a Hallmark movie? I don't know. See, post every day, bro. You'll get better recommendations. See, I don't think that's just not true. Like, because I've been posting every day for like 4 years, and I don't know, but whatever. You know what I mean? It's I'm not salty about it. It's just how it works. Oh, making a cute couple indeed. Incredibly approachable. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words, everybody. You make your way up to a Hallmark Christmas movie? Is that it? Do I have to start at like a different? What other seasons of movie? A summer movie? A summer romance? Cut my teeth on it? I feel like every Hallmark movie has a show. It's like, you know, you see the meme of like all the Hallmark movie posters, and it's just some freaking slim white dude, like with brown hair. Like I can fill that role, right? Come on, every single one. Oh, Dan's here. What's up, Dan? See, that's my thing. It's like, yeah, white guy with a beard and flannel. I don't think I can go full beard or flannel for that matter. Not a flannel guy. That would be a hard, like if someone was like, all right, you're casting this movie, but you have to wear blue jeans and a flannel. That'd be a hard look in the mirror, you know? My man Dan, stopping in after. Are you still working at that guitar shop, Dan? I forgot if you quit that. You quit that job, didn't you? What do you do now? I don't know. If you guys don't know Dan, Dan's the man. Shout out to my man Dan. He's got a bunch of videos of him doing stuff on his channel, so check those out. If you guys are fancy. Drea isn't moderating. Drea's got class. She's in college right now. I think she's busy, or else she'd be here. If you were in a Hallmark movie, you could be though. If. Yeah. Oh, it'll happen, guys. A Christmas murder mystery. See, now you're talking my language. Right. Oh, it's too perfect. What is the future of guitar music? I feel like it's coming back a little bit. I think the whole, I don't know what, Phoebe Bridgers movement, I think is kind of bringing it back. So it's coming. Still take lessons there. Only working one job. Oh, pet store? Dan, doing God's work at the pet store. I love it. No thumbhole shirts? I don't know, Guitar Dog. I've been known to rock a thumbhole every now and then. So, you found the channel via the Elliott Smith videos. I'm grateful to upload videos. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Elliott Smith is the best. Love Andrea. She is great. Wish you guys still did a lot of videos together. You know, as soon as Drea graduates college, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more. that's the plan. We'll see if it gets there. We got like a year and a half for me to keep this whole thing afloat. But that's the plan. So fingers crossed, guys. Cheer me on. Wish me luck. We'll see if we can make that happen. I can be the boyfriend that dies in a B horror movie. I think so. As long as it would be a soldier's death. I just wouldn't want like a real tough death. But yeah, I'm not opposed to dying in a horror movie. I would love that. It'd be the best. And it also, you're right, it also depends on Damash's output. What about an Andrea spring break busking trip? Sure. Yeah, you know, we might get out there. We got stuff we're gonna do. See exact. Oh, my battery's dying. I'm gonna have to switch. That's right. All the networks just need to see the hair once, and then they'll be hooked. Anyways, I do think the production quality of you, Andrea, at the Tailor Factory was better. Oh, thank you so much. Make connections at Ringling. They are connected. Yeah, you know, it's kind of, Ringling's an interesting spot, the Ringling spot, but yeah. Very, very inappropriate. Stocking stuffer? Okay. Anyways, guys, it's been wild. Dan, I'm gonna have to bounce too. How long has this been? It's been like 3 hours. Are you kidding me? Wow. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm speaking this long by myself, but man, appreciate all you guys hanging out, watching the 400K special. Yeah, I know. Dang, Boris, you've been here like pretty much the whole time. Same with Alexander. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for making 400K happen. Onward to 405K. The next big milestone. Arkaz, thank you very much. Again, check out Arkaz's picks. He makes the best picks if you're looking at increasing your speed. There's literally nothing better than this. So try those out for sure. And again, thank you so much. Hopefully I'll have enough energy to figure out this intro joke and shoot this video tomorrow because I think it's going to be a good one. Because definitely eye-opening for me. But yeah, thank you so much for all the kind words. And I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you so much.